Your translator is lying.
Across the table, the Russian envoy smiled. But Evan had heard the truth. The document revealed a pivotal detail. The delivery address was inaccurate, and the arrangement concluded with Damien facing a significant challenge before sunrise.
He's a spy. A gun lifted.
Damien looked at the wine, then at Evan.
Translate every word.
The lights went out. A shot shattered the glass. Then Damien's arm locked around Evan's waist, pulling him into the dark.
Now, you're mine to protect.
The words left Evan Miller's mouth before fear could drag them back. Still, he could hear the soft hiss of the air conditioner above the black marble ceiling. 10 men in tailored suits turned toward him. Crystal glasses stopped halfway to lips. A fountain pen hovered 1 inch above a contract worth more money than Evan would earn in 10 lifetimes. Damien was the kind of alpha who made silence feel heavier than shouting. A man with black hair combed back from a face too calm to be kind. Gray eyes cold as a February highway, and a presence that made every other powerful man in the room seem like a guest in his shadow. A man with black hair combed back from a face too calm to be kind. He was supposed to be invisible tonight. That was the rule at the Black Marrow, the most expensive private restaurant under downtown Chicago. Hidden behind an unmarked steel door 3 blocks from the river. Waiters did not listen. Waiters did not react. Waiters did not remember faces, names, accents, or the contents of conversations that could ruin families before morning. Evan knew those rules better than anyone, because he needed this job. His younger brother's hospital bills did not care if Evan was tired, scared, or one bad decision away from disappearing into a world he had spent his whole life avoiding. So when the reservation came in under an unusual company name, when the manager told him the private room would need full discretion, when the security team swept the hallway twice and took every employee's phone, Evan had lowered his eyes and promised himself he would survive the shift by becoming furniture. His scent moved before him, clean and sharp, like snow on dark steel, restrained but impossible to ignore. Evan had served alphas before, wealthy ones, cruel ones. Lonely ones who wore power like a watch and expected everyone to notice. Damien was different. He wore power like skin. He said almost nothing as he took the center seat, but the men around him adjusted to his gravity, leaning forward, lowering their voices, measuring every breath. Across from him sat the foreign partners, 3 men with polite smiles and empty eyes. Speaking in Russian beneath the smooth English voice of Victor Hale, the translator. Evan almost missed the first lie. Victor said they were confirming the delivery in Gary, Indiana, but the man in the Navy suit had clearly said the location was being moved across Lake Michigan. The second lie made Evan's fingers tighten around the wine bottle. Victor translated that the second toast was a sign of trust. The real words were colder. After the second glass, he will not leave the room standing. Evan felt the floor tilt beneath his polished black shoes. He looked at Damien's untouched wine, at Victor's pleasant smile, at the contract waiting for a signature, and understood the awful shape of the trap. One wrong breath, one wrong glance, and Evan would be exposed.
Evan's throat burned.
His instincts screamed at him to lower his head, to be small, to live. Instead, he stepped forward into the dangerous quiet and said the one sentence that made every predator in the room look directly at him.
Your translator is lying.
Evan knew the room had changed because even the ice stopped moving in the glasses. 1 second, he had been a waiter in a black vest and polished shoes, trying to disappear behind the service cart. The next, he was the only thing every dangerous man in that private room could see.
Excuse me? Excuse me?
Victor said, his voice smooth enough to pass for confusion if no one listened closely. Damien Cross did not look at them. He looked only at Evan.
What did you hear?
His voice was low, controlled, and terrifyingly calm. Evan swallowed. The smart answer was nothing. The safe answer was an apology. He could say he was tired, that he had confused languages, that the pressure of serving such important guests had rattled him. But then his eyes flicked to Damien's wineglass again. They said after the second glass, you would not leave this room standing.
You changed the delivery site too. You said Gary, Indiana.
They said the shipment was being rerouted across Lake Michigan to a private dock north of Milwaukee.
Pula.
You removed the part about Cross's security being delayed by 40 minutes. You also skipped the phrase about the old debt being collected tonight.
Why would you risk it?
Because 12 years ago, I trusted the wrong translation. Then he looked at Evan, voice low and absolute.
Tonight, I am trusting yours.
The address led them to a narrow brick building on the south side, wedged between a closed laundromat and a corner store with metal grates pulled over the windows. Rain had started during the drive, soft at first, then steady enough to turn the streetlights into blurred gold halos on the pavement. Evan sat in the back of Damien's black SUV, still wearing his waiter's uniform beneath a borrowed coat that smelled faintly of cedar, cold air, and the Alpha sitting beside him. Damien had not spoken much during the ride. He had made calls, received messages, and moved unseen people around the city with the quiet precision of a man rearranging a chessboard. Mercy West remained secure. Noah was still safe. Evan repeated that to himself until the words became a thin rope holding him together.
This building used to be a language school. Closed 8 years ago.
Evan stared at the dark second-floor windows.
My mother brought me here once. My mother wrote this? No.
Someone who wants you to believe she did. Evan reached for the napkin, despite every instinct screaming not to.
Beneath the Polish sentence, there was a number.
Not a phone number. An address on the south side, only 3 miles from the apartment where Evan had grown up. Under it were 2 words in English. Come alone.
Evan's hands began to shake.
Damien took the napkin from him, read it once, and folded it with terrifying care.
That will not happen.
It says, come alone. I can read. Then you know they will hurt Noah if I do not. Damien stepped close enough that Evan could feel the steady wall of him, calm against Evan's rising panic. Your brother is guarded. Your apartment will be watched.
The hospital is locked down.
You are not walking into a trap because a ghost borrowed your mother's handwriting.
You do not understand.
If there is even a chance this is about her, I have to know. For the first time, Damien's composure cracked just enough for Evan to see the grief beneath the ice.
That is exactly what they want from you.
Evan held his gaze, terrified, angry, and suddenly certain of one thing. Damien Cross was not protecting him only because he was useful. Damien was looking at Evan like he had once failed to protect someone else from the same kind of lie. The freight elevator doors began to close, but Damien stopped them with one hand.
We are going to that address. But not alone, and not blind.
Evan swallowed. He thought of the private room, the poisoned toast, the hidden message, his mother's truth finally breathing in the open. Then he thought of Damien standing between him and the dark, not as a cage, but as a shield. Evan stepped toward the car. No more lies, he said.